Welcome to another episode of T-Dub's Film Room, brought to you by thebarnauburn.com, where they're running a $25 off special for your 2025 annual membership. Head over there right now, take full advantage of that. But today is about Auburn football's most recent commit. It's going to be Omar Mabson, 2026 running back who reclassified to 2025 to go ahead, get in the program, get a head start on his development. So you love to see that. But let's take a look at his highlight tape, break down some strengths, weaknesses. Let's see if there's another former Auburn running back who he comps to surprisingly well. All right, so here we go. Again, Omar Mabson, Auburn High School, so good competition level. You see him in the backfield here. 5'9", 200. All right, you see the ability to kind of jump, cut, stiff arm, break a tackle. And this is a little bit surprising. He's got more juice than you'd probably think. Again, competition level is pretty good there, Auburn High School. He's able to pull away from some of these defenders for long touchdown runs. Now, I don't think that's necessarily how he projects to SEC level football. I think he's going to be a between the 20s, the same way that you would think about a slot possession receiver. Think about Omar Mabson as a running back. He's going to be a between the 20s, get every inch and every yard, move the chains, move the sticks, but probably not going to be a consistent home run hitter, but that's totally fine. Low center of gravity, again, 5'9", 200. That's going to help him with a lot of different things. It's going to help him, stay low to the ground, break tackles. Defenders really have to have their feet in the ground, be balanced and squared up to be able to tackle him and get, good shots on him. That low center of gravity helps him. We see this all the time with guys being able to kind of hide behind the behind the offensive line. You think about the outside zone stretch plays. We'll see that in a little bit. Being able to kind of wait, and then when he sees fit, just kind of punch it, get up in the hole, and get some yardage. So that low center of gravity is going to help him out. Look, at the end of the day, a couple of negatives with that kind of shorter build, okay? You can see him get out of the backfield, catching a pass right there. I don't see him as being able to guy that projects to the SEC as somebody that can really help out a ton in the pass game consistently in terms of getting out, running routes, catching the football. Shorter running backs, at the end of the day, you also have shorter arms. If the ball is outside of your framework, outside of kind of your box here, it's just harder. You're limited to reach out and catch the football. A good example, 2021, Auburn versus Georgia. We try to get Shivers out on a little arrow, a little flat route. The ball is slightly off target. I think it bounces up and Georgia gets a pick, right? So think about stuff like that. Also in the pass game and pass protection, at the end of the day, if you're 5'9", 200, there's only so much you can really do. You better be a beast in your low body to be able to kind of get up in there, A gap or on the edge, and be able to help out in pass protection. So I don't expect him to help out a ton in the pass game. That's okay. Again, I don't see him having home run speed in the SEC, so he's not necessarily a guy that's going to have 85-yard touchdown runs, stuff like that. Most backs aren't. It's really rare when you find a running back that's got strength, power, and home run speed. That's why those guys are special. So I like this kid a lot. Now, there's a long list of Auburn running backs, okay, that are a little bit shorter or slight in stature that were really productive running backs at Auburn. You can think even right now on the roster, Damari Alston's probably 5'9", 200 or so, 215 potentially. Sean Shivers is another good example of being even smaller than Omar Mabson, and obviously he was a very productive member of Auburn's football team. But there's one guy, and I'm going to pause it and then bring them both up. I'm going to run these guys side by side, but there's one guy, a former Auburn running back, that I think is a home run comp to Omar Mabson. All right, check out my guy right here, and check out the music that they had for his senior season highlight tape. This is incredible. I love it so much. Cameron Artis Payne is the best comp I think anybody could ever make for any Auburn football recruit ever. I'm exaggerating that a little bit, but I think this is a really good comp, and in a second you'll see why. All right, let's let this thing play out a little bit, and then I'll let both run at the same time. All right. So he's got some, he's dedicating it to the guys who helped put this video out for him, which I love. All right, let's skip this forward a little bit. Now, he's listing himself at 5'11", 205, all right? But I think 5'9", 200 and maybe, what we might consider to be 5'10", 200 are going to be pretty similar. You can already kind of see here, okay, just stature and body type, but definitely the way he runs, the way he kind of picks through the holes. Obviously, again, the contact balance, the low center of gravity, being able to just kind of shed and just not let guys get him on the ground. These, shorter backs too, those feet are just quick, man. So again, that low center of gravity, just being lower to the ground, can help you a lot as a running back. It's, it's not a bad thing at all. So watch him kind of do some of that, and then let's just let these things run side by side. And if you just kind of glance back and forth, I think you'll see a ton of similarities. And again, if you think about what Cameron Artis-Payne was to Auburn football, he was a between-the-20s rusher, okay? He didn't have a long list of long rushes for more than, 30, 40 yards, that kind of thing, right? But a really good back. You can see they're both breaking tackles like simultaneously. All right, so I think this is a really good comp. I've got some stats here for Cameron Artis-Payne. He was a 5th-round pick, all right? So, again, we're not talking about, a guy that I see as a potential to be a first-round pick running back. Those are really rare anyway, okay? But a 5th-round pick, didn't do a whole lot in the NFL, totally fine. But listen to this. In 2014, when Cameron Artis-Payne was, the bell cow, all right, after Trey Mason went to the NFL after 2013, 2014, listen to these game logs from these SEC games in 2014. So, he had 177 yards against Arkansas, 126 against LSU, 167 against South Carolina, 138 versus Ole Miss, 221 versus A&M, and 126 versus Wisconsin in the bowl game. He rushed for like 124 yards a game in 2024. I'm not saying that Omar Mabson is going to be that productive. What I am saying, though, is this is a pretty clear comparison to me in terms of general size, stature, even running style to me looks similar, of a guy that proved that you can be, everything that Cameron Artis-Payne was and be really productive in the SEC at Auburn specifically as a running back. So that's a great thing. Obviously, Omar Mabson's coming in as a super young guy. He's a year early. So, let's give him time. Let's let him develop. But I think, and even Cameron Artis-Payne, he came in, I believe, from JUCO, and I think had to sit out a year and develop as well. So, I think 2 or 3 years in the program, Omar Mabson could be a really good back. This is just something that I thought was interesting. NFL lists, and again, I'm not saying Omar projects as like this great potential NFL running back, but you think about Ray Rice, which, hey, off the field stuff, whatever, but on the field, Ray Rice, Maurice Jones-Drew, even in this year, 2024, I just pulled up, the top 50 rushers in terms of yardage in the NFL. And, of course, you have some quarterbacks on there. You have some other guys on there. But guys that were around this build, Kyron Williams, Austin Eckler, Aaron Jones, were all listed at basically 5'9", 200. Ray Davis, if you remember him from Vanderbilt in Kentucky, I believe, or at least Kentucky, 5'8", 220, so a little bit bigger, but, 5'8". Jaylen Warren for the Steelers, 5'8", 215. My point is just, right there, there's 5 guys in the top that are in the top 50 2024 rushing statistics that are all about the same build. So, I like Omar Mabson a lot. I like that he was a local kid. I think some of his quotes and the guys that cover do a great job, but he just loves everything about Auburn, all that kind of stuff, right? So you love that. Let's get him in the program. Keep pulling the rope in the same direction. Keep everything pushing forward. But yeah, I think it's a guy that can definitely produce and a guy that's definitely going to be a good addition to that running back room. We'll have plenty of time this offseason to break down, what we see in the rooms and how they project to next season and all that kind of stuff. But overall, really good pickup for Auburn, and this will probably be kind of the cap for, pun intended, for the 2025 class. But as always, you guys, thank you for watching. Be on the lookout. We're going to have, more of these type videos coming out soon. As 2026 commits start rolling in, I'll do a similar video for every one of those commitments. So just be on the lookout for that. But until next time, see you later. Thanks for watching.